Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about propagation, mostly because I have a bunch of cuttings that are rooted that I want to pot up, but I wanted to show you guys them first. I just think it's interesting to see what people are propagating, what they have on the go. So I am going to show you guys all of that. But I also had some plants on my list that I have been wanting to take cuttings from to start new propagations. So I'm going to be doing that with you. It is a very beginner friendly water propagation method, very straightforward. But I did have some people asking me to make a video on that who are like newbie plant parents. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So to start, I have a couple of Monstera adansonii propagating, which are super easy to root. So I have 2 jars of Monstera adansonii and they both have pretty good root systems. So these have been propagating for probably, I'm gonna guess, around 6 weeks. I also have a random peperomia in here. We're gonna take that out. Okay. Oh, so I have 2 separate pieces here. Oh my goodness. So this is what the root system is looking like on this guy, and the other one looks pretty similar as well. So these roots are definitely long enough for me to pot into soil, so I'm probably going to do that later tonight. So I love taking propagations of my vining plants for a couple of different reasons. 1, you can repot them back in to make a fuller plant. 2, you can start a new plant, or 3, I like to save them just in case somebody wants one for a trade or to give away or whatever it may be. Oh yeah, so I'll show you. I have so my watermelon peperomia died. I cannot keep these alive. If you guys have any tips, like I don't know why I just cannot keep this plant alive. So what happened to it is pretty much all the leaves just got these black, I don't know if you can see, but there's like brown dark splotches all over the leaf, and they all got like that, but really bad. And this was the best looking one, so I decided to pop it in water and propagate it, and I'm gonna try again and see if I can get a plant from this. But yeah, it actually rooted way easier than I thought. I literally just popped the stem in water and now it has roots, so we'll see if this plant will like me this time. But yeah, okay, so those ones chilling, ready to be potted. Next, I have my Hoya Wyetii. I hear that Hoya are notoriously hard to root, but I have always had good luck with them for some reason. Knock on wood. But yeah, this guy has really cute little roots in there. I'm probably gonna pot him up soon as well. And I have a Tridescantia rooting. I have such a love-hate relationship with these. Like, I feel like they look cute and I'm feeling it, and then they just start getting really leggy and weird and I don't like it. But yeah, so one of my plants got super leggy, so I chopped it and it rooted immediately. These are super easy to propagate. Oh yeah, I have honestly like 10 jars of spider plant babies in water right now, and I just put them in a couple days ago and the roots are already so crazy. I don't know if you can see. This is such a like hard way to show. But yeah, these are so, the roots are pretty much already developed when you take it off of the plant, but I just have them in water, and mostly because I'm too lazy to pot them all up right now, but I will get to that eventually. If you guys have seen my giant spider plant, this is her babies. Oh yeah, another super easy plant to propagate is Pilea. This is my, I think the 2nd baby I've taken off of my Pilea, and it's growing so well. This plant used to hate me and it looked like it was dying for so long, but now suddenly it likes me. Ever since I've been keeping them in plastic pots, like I don't know what it is. Somebody suggested that to me and I switched it from terracotta into plastic and it's been thriving. So this is one of her babies and it's doing super well. And I'm just kind of like keeping this guy for, I don't know. I always am like, oh, I'm gonna keep them in case somebody wants to trade for something, but then I always just like get attached and want to keep them. But that was the intention for trades or giving away. And then, oh yeah, okay, so my Porcingonium albo. I have been trying to root this particular piece for a really long time now, probably 2 months. I did have another piece. So I don't know if I've ever showed you guys what happened to my Syngonium albo. I think I talked about it in a different video, I'm not sure, but it got super moldy and it was not doing well at all. I think it had spider mites as well. I don't know, it was just a hot mess. So I had to chop it up and this is all I have left of the plant, these 3 leaves. So this one I potted up a couple of weeks ago and it's doing well. I can see its roots growing in there. So this guy's doing well, but the variegation is pretty low on these leaves. Honestly, this leaf looks like it might go too, but let's just hope that he will start producing new leaves. Anyways, so this piece I've really been trying to save because it has higher variegation and it's just so pretty. But it's been in water and literally nothing. So I might try to move this guy to sphagnum moss. We'll see. Still trying to decide what to do with it, but I don't want to give up on it yet. So having a lot of trouble with that one. What else? Oh yes, I have string of hearts propagating here. Actually, this isn't even propagating anymore. This is rooted and potted. I did have it propagating in water and then I just potted it up recently. So yeah, my string of hearts, my big one, is growing out of control. So yeah, I just took a cutting from that. And what else do I have? Oh yeah, I was just gonna show you guys my Hoya because I'm just really proud of them. So I took a cutting from my Crimson Queen a while ago and potted it up a couple months ago and it's doing so well. It's growing new leaves and I'm just so excited about it. Yeah, it has new leaves at the top too. It's so cute. And then when I did that one, getting distracted by a text message. When I did that one, I also chopped my, what is this, Hoya carnosa compacta, and it is doing super well also, putting out new leaves. This is new growth at the end here. But yeah, I'm really excited to have like a little baby one of these guys now because I love them so much. Super slow grower though. So I did totally forget to show you guys my Marble Queen Pothos propagations because they are sitting in a window right now. But I actually went wild this time and propagated like entire vines. So yeah, and it has been months, at least a couple of months. And they have just recently started rooting. Oh boy, I need to put more water in there, but that's how the roots are looking. So yeah, I don't know, I just thought it would be fun to try propagating a longer vine this time. Okay, so that's kind of the update of what I am currently propagating, and now let's get into starting new ones. So what I'm going to be propagating today is my Philodendron Silver Stripe, or Philodendron Rio, which is so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love this plant so much. I got this plant when I was in Seattle in the winter, and it's just been growing so well for me. It's so full. Oh, this leaf doesn't have any variegation. That's so weird. They're all like so beautifully variegated, and then just this very bottom one doesn't have any variegation. So it's kind of weird, but that's okay. So I want to take a cutting of this guy just to have going. Yeah, and then similarly, I also want to take a cutting of my Philodendron Brazil, which is over here. He needs to be repotted, so I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to propagate him because I want to get rid of some of this because the leaves are coming out so small. So yeah, I'm going to give him a bit of a haircut. And then the last one that I'm going to be propagating is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which is in the kitchen, and it's growing up a trellis, and the Hoya beside it, my Hoya macrophylla, has actually attached itself to that trellis. So I can't bring it over here because I don't want to disturb it. So I'll go take a cutting from the kitchen, but I have these guys right here. So I'm going to start off with them. So on most vining plants, you will be able to see nodes near the leaves, and this is the important part because that is where roots are going to come from. So I'm going to take a cutting and then I will just kind of explain. Okay, so you are going to need some plant shears or scissors or whatever. And then what you are going to do is take your vine and cut off, however, it depends how much you want and how big your plant is. Like for my big pothos, I cut off like huge vines, but obviously this guy's smaller, so I think we're gonna go right under here. Whoop. And I usually cut it right below a leaf. So I have this piece. Set him aside. Thank you, sir. Okay, so this is our little vine that we have. Okay, so basically what I'm going to be doing is cutting below each leaf. And I'm just gonna do that for all of them. Okay, so you are going to be left with all of these little leaves, and it'll be really obvious where the nodes are. You can see right there, that little brown thing, that little brown nub is a node. Some of them actually have like roots growing already. Like some aerial roots get kind of crazy, so that one has pretty good roots already. So we need the node or the aerial roots, and then this, the rest of it is called the internode, and that's not really as important. I usually leave a little bit, but I'm just gonna like trim off the excess. So you're just gonna be left with a little leaf and then a node. So sadly, this one that was at the bottom that has like the, oh, actually, you know what? I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this one. The variegation is so low on it that I think I might just toss this one. But if I was going to keep this leaf, I would cut off this thing where the new leaf is gonna come out, because it's just not really going to help this guy put energy into growing roots. So what we are left with is all of these little leaf cuttings. Now you can do a whole vine, you don't have to chop it up into leaf sections, but there are some benefits to doing this. One is that it'll probably root quicker than a whole vine, and two is that you can make like a bushier little plant if you are rooting a bunch of individual cuttings, because those will each grow into their own vines. But yeah, okay, so what you need next is a jar. I'm gonna need a pretty shallow one because these guys are pretty small, so let's find that. Okay, so I was struggling for a minute to find a propagation vessel for this guy, but I ended up going with this kombucha bottle because it has a narrow top. So if you have cuttings that are really short and you don't want them to like fall into the water, this is a good solution. So I'm just gonna have to fill it up with water, like pretty much up to the top. And then that's it. Then you just wait probably a few weeks until these guys will grow some roots. And then once the roots are like, I don't know, I usually wait until they're a couple inches long at least. And then you can pot them up into soil. And then all that I do once my propagations are ready to be planted in soil is pot them up and keep the soil pretty moist for the first week or two, and then you can transition to just a regular water schedule, just to ease the shock of going from completely being in water to completely being in soil. So that is the method that I use for, like I said, most vining plants. That's how I propagate Philodendron, Pothos, my Hoya, Syngonium. They all have those nodes or aerial roots. Monstera as well. Sometimes they look a little bit different, but it's the same idea for all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to my Philodendron Brazil and then my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, and I will show you when I'm done. Okay, so the Philodendron Brazil was actually a little bit easier. They are just a little bit longer, so I was able to kind of hook them around the edge of a jar, and yeah, they can just chill like that. Look how cute they are. And then I'll fill that up with water. And then I have taken my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma cutting. It's so nice. Look at the leaves. It's so pretty. Ugh. That plant is doing so well now. If you guys saw it dying in my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma versus root rot video, yeah, she is doing super well, and I am propagating her now. That's how well she's doing. So I'm trying to decide whether I want to leave this as one cutting or whether I want to separate this leaf and those leaves. I think I'm going to separate it and do two. So I'm just going to cut. So you can see how obvious the aerial roots are on this guy as well. So I'm basically just going to take out this middle space, the internode. Oop. Kind of slimy. Okay, so now I have two separate cuttings and put it right in this jar. These ones are a lot easier, the ones that are tall enough that they can just sit in a jar like normal. But also I wanted to mention one more thing, and that is to change the water at least once a week. It's probably best to do it once every few days or even every day if you want, but I try to at least once a week dump out the water, rinse off the roots, and then fill it up with fresh water, and that's really all I have to do to keep them happy. Okay, so that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys learned something or enjoyed seeing my plants and propagations. If you have any questions for me, just leave them down below in the comments. I respond to pretty much all of my comments, and I definitely read them all, and I really appreciate all of them. And I also really appreciate when you guys give my videos a thumbs up, because it really helps me on the YouTube algorithm. And last but not least, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. I have been uploading like 3 times a week recently, so I am pretty proud about that. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!